Listen, listen. If you are somebody who constantly saying yes to people, you have a hard time saying no, this episode tonight is for you. If there are more people who have a handout concerning you and what you have to offer them, but no one's pouring back into you, this episode right here is the one for you. My name is Shantanique Langston. I'm your personal professional relationship coach. I'm also the creator of the Relationship Conference. Welcome back to the Niece's channel. I'm excited about tonight's episode because I'm talking to all my strong friends on tonight. Me right here, yes, I am her. I am definitely that person that's always helping other people, and I always get the short end of the stick. And I know I'm not the only one. So I want to give you guys a few tips that's going to help you navigate in 2025 and how you show up for yourself and for other people. But I want you to understand that you matter. You matter. Okay. What you need should be priority. And that is something that I had to deal with in the past couple of weeks. Working on myself. I'm still working on myself. Okay. Personal growth, it takes time. Awareness takes time. All right. And I keep telling y'all to give yourself grace along the journey. I'm giving myself all the grace, all the mercy, because I've always put myself on the back burner for people. And I've been doing myself a disservice. And I don't want you guys who are constantly pouring into other people, I want you to stop being burnt out. Okay. Because you can give without being burnt out. And that all goes back to identifying who you're serving. All right. And a lot of times we don't want to identify, we don't want to evaluate, we don't want to analyze the people in our life. We want to just give because we should give, right? From our heart. I'm a giver. Okay. I'm a giver, but I have to know who I'm giving to and who's pouring into me and what expectations do I have of these people. Okay, because oftentimes we have expectation thinking that, okay, I'm pouring, they see I'm pouring, they're gonna pour back into me. Wrong. Not if they are always coming to you for something and they don't have anything to give. So that's why it's important for us to identify who we're serving. Okay. And if you are a service provider, if you're a healer, if you're a problem solver, you want to tap in. So there are four things that I want to talk about when it comes to being identified as that go-to person. And it's a beautiful thing to be needed, right? But is it necessary? Can somebody else do the job? Why are people always depending on you? Okay, for the answer. And that's a problem if everybody's coming to you and they don't have anyone else to go to. So the first thing I want to talk about is paying attention to who you're serving. Who's in your circle? If the people in your circle are constantly coming to you, I get it. In our circles, we may have a certain person who does this, that does that. That's beautiful. If your circle is surrounded by people who are great in different aspects, but everyone can benefit, that's beautiful. But if you do not have a circle of people who everyone can benefit from, again, y'all work together, that's a problem. You should not be the only smart person in your group. Okay, that's a given. You should not be the smartest person in your group. If you're the smartest person in the group, you need to change your friendship because everyone should be able to glean from someone. All right. Also, your family. Now, I get it that we have families that may not be strong in certain areas, and you may be the person that everyone rely on. This is where it can get really touchy, especially with relatives. It's called boundaries. You have to create boundaries with friendships, your family, all the things. Because if you are that healer, that problem solver, people come to you and you're constantly being pulled, and it's not God telling you to do it. Why are we doing it? Because if it's draining you, you have to know when to let it go. But again, that goes back to knowing who you're serving. All right. You have to know who needs you, who is relying on you for certain things, and if you can do it. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. All right, that's something that I had to learn in the past couple of years. Being an educator, and also even in my personal life. All right, certain things I had to say no to because I'm not giving energy to something that's going to drain me. So you got to, again, be aware of who you're serving. Offer alternatives. If you can't do it, say no. Offer alternative. Okay? Don't don't be fighting back saying why you can't. My no is no. Period. Okay? I love people, but I'm not going to let them get on my nerves. And that's how I'm telling you, all my strong folks, look at me. Don't let nobody get on your nerves. If it's going to get on your nerves, don't do it. Okay? Don't do it. A person that needs from you, they should not come to you, okay, and be a burden. They should be able to recognize who you are and say, you know what, I know, and recognize what you have going on. If they can't do that, they're just using you because you're always saying yes. And so you have to put in your mind, how am I going to show up this time in 2025? I don't want to be drained, but I still want to be a blessing and serve people. But I need some balance. I need some help. Okay, because you can't do all the things. We're called to do hard things, but we're not called to do everything. I'm gonna say it again. We are called to do hard things. I tell my students this, but we're not called to do everything. God did not put us on this earth to be a slave to somebody else's poverty. And what I mean by poverty, I mean the mindset. People being codependent all the time on you. That's poverty. Because you're independent, you do a lot of things on your own. No one asks you. Those same people cannot help you. So if you don't have anyone in your life, hello, somebody who's able to reach out and say, hey, how can I best serve you? How can I help you? You know, is there anything you need help with? If you don't have nobody, that's a problem. You should not be the only person that's coming to everybody's life and saving them. That's not your job. Our job is not to save folks. I stopped doing that a long time ago. Okay, so I want you to realize who you're serving. The next thing is listen to your body. Jesus, listen to your body. Listen to your spirit. Come away from idle chatter. Idle chatter is a distraction. Okay, so if people calling you complaining about X, Y, and Z, because you are a safe space, you full of peace, you got your head on straight, that is not your problem. Their problems are not your problems. You have to learn to set boundaries. Setting boundaries is going to bless your whole life. There are people who do not respect boundaries. They don't care about what that is. And that's because they have yet to realize how that can be a blessing for them in their development, their growth. Okay. A lot of people don't like sitting with themselves, but not you. You have so much going on. You got to learn when to rest. Rest is going to be your saving grace. It will cause you to reset, to refocus, to have a clear mindset on the things that you should be doing. Okay, for you, for you. Everyone depend on you. You got to work on you because everybody depend on you, right? So how you going to show up different if you don't work on you? So I want you to listen to your body to give yourself some rest. Naps are great. They're still great. Social media will be there. All right, turn it off. You got to regroup, okay? So I want you to listen to your body, what you're putting in your body as well. All right, I'm not going to go into a whole nutrition spiel and all that, but you know that it's better for us to have more fruits and vegetables in our daily diet so that we are recharged, we are refueled, and we can have a better mindset and make better decisions when we are putting the right things in our bodies. So I want you to think about listening to your body and your spirit. Okay? Because again, people are pulling on you constantly. How can you refocus and be replenished if you don't listen to your body? All right. Number 3, know your capacity. Know your cap. I'm going to say that again. Know your cap. We all have a capacity. People do not like when I say this. I love people. I love my acquaintances, my friends, near and far. But listen here. Everybody is not called to be in your space. Everybody is not called to be in your space. You have to know your cap when it comes to your boundaries, okay, and what you will and will not accept. As a strong person that people come to, a problem solver, you have to know what you're going to tolerate. Because as you grow and evolve, Okay, people don't notice, but people who are strong friends, who are always helping other people and solving problems, you actually are evolving. Okay, but you sometimes you gotta come away in order to evolve and in order to be willing to sacrifice your capacity. Because again, what worked for you when you was 20 not gonna work for you at 25 or 30 or 35 or 40. Okay, I'm close to 40, and there's a lot of things that I'm not tolerating right now in this season before I hit 40. There's things I'm working on concerning myself, and I'm being looking and reflecting like, why did I do that? Why did I just person here so long? You can have the wrong people in the right season of your life that will mess up everything. So you have to be mindful of your cap, what you're going to accept and what you're going to tolerate. Because again, as you grow, you have to make sure you have the right people in your space that's going to celebrate and honor you at your full self. Not half of you, but all of you. Because if there's people around you, strong friend, who's only taking from you, they're only there to benefit from you and not really be there for you. And again, it goes back to discerning who you have around you. Because strong friends need to have strong people around them. Again, as a strong friend, I don't see how you can benefit from people who are in a lower spot than you. That, like, I don't know what kind of validation that is, but that's immature. So if you are somebody who feel the need of always being there or always having to help people, that's the problem. You need to look at what's causing me to feel like I have to be there. I feel obligated to help this person. That's You're forcing something. It should be natural. As a strong friend, as a healer, service provider, it should be effortlessly. It should be something that you do when you wake up because you want to, not because you feel obligated. Never feel obligated to do anything for anybody because that's not your job. Our job as strong friends to show up for people is to be present, okay, and to do it from a genuine place. Yeah, you may have good intentions, but is that what God really wants you to do? So I'm listen, y'all. I'm in a totally different space in my life, and I'm only doing things when the Holy Spirit tell me to do it. When He tell me not to do it, guess what? I ain't gonna do it. I am not going to do it. It is a no. Are people going to get upset? Yes. Yes, they will. And guess what? That's on them. If they're upset, guess what? Their intentions of you was never important to them. They were only there to get what they want. And I don't know if you've watched The Breakfast Club, but there was an interview with Alicia Keys. And she was talking about how she had to move differently and she had to let some people go. And she said, they're never bad people. They're just people who want what they want. So I'm going to tell you this. The people that may be upset at you because you're moving differently, it's not that they're mad at you. It's because people want what they want. And that is okay. Because again, everybody is not called to be in your space. And as a strong person, and you are, people gravitate to the healing parts of you, the peaceful parts of you, because I get that all the time. Even as a teenager, I was called the peacemaker, right? But here I am today, still doing the thing. But guess what? I have boundaries now. All right, my peace, I'm covering it. I'm shutting down all idle chatter. Okay, I know I'm called to serve people, so I got to reserve some time for me. So as a person who is minding your business, you're showing up. You have to be mindful of what you let in because you pour so much out. Okay, and so, but I'm gonna go back to that cap. Know your cap. Know what you're going to tolerate going into 2024. What do I need to let go so that I can feel like I'm still fulfilling certain responsibilities, but I'm not being drained. Okay, that is something you need to really lean on. Like, I don't want to feel drained, so I need to know how to set the boundaries and be solid in those boundaries. Don't feel bad. Stop feeling bad when you can't do something. If you can't do it, you just can't do it. You will feel better when you start saying no. I can't make it. I have stuff else going on. and let that be that. If people, of course, people will nitpick like why and all that, shut them down, shut them down. If they start to nitpick when you start making these moves, that tells you right there they have no good intentions for you. They just their intentions are about them and what they want. Okay, and you got to see people for who they are. That is something I had to do. Is it a hard pill to swallow? Absolutely, absolutely. But it needs to be said. It needs to be done so that you can grow, so that you can breathe, you can woosah and take a breather. Because if you're constantly on the go, 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 how can you continue to pour? How can you? I know I have a few people watching tonight. Thank you for tuning in. If you have questions, make sure you go ahead and put it in the chat before I log off. Um, and here's the last thing I want to bring up. Very, very important. I want you to be reliable, but not a doormat. Be reliable and not a doormat. We've been talking about saying, not saying yes to everything and learning when to say no. You have to know when to say no. For a long time, I struggled with saying no. And I started feeling this pull like, and I know it, the spirit of manipulation. Come on, somebody. You can feel when someone's trying to manipulate you into doing something or try to gaslight you into doing things. Hello, relatives. Okay, to make you feel guilt trip you. Hello, but I would tell a relative in a minute. No, and that is it. I would do it in a minute because if I'm not bringing that energy to you, why do you think it's okay for you to do it to me? This is self reflection. This is like, okay, it has to be reciprocal. If it's not, I gotta let it go. You have to know the type of people you are serving, and then the type of people who are just greedy, breadcrumbing, trying to get what they want, and that's it. You have to be lean into that discernment and that intuition. Ladies, y'all know we are givers, nurturers by nature. That is us. And you have to know again who you're serving and be reliable when you are able to. Okay, not you drop everything to do stuff for people. Stop dropping everything. No, 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 no. It's time for you to prioritize you. And everything else comes second, third. Because your time with God matters. We need more time, and I'm telling you, I've been spending more time with God since my last conference than I have in a long time. And because I prioritize God first, He's beginning to lead me in a certain direction, especially when it comes to relationships with myself, number one, and then how I'm showing up and how people are showing up in my life. So, strong friend, look at who's showing up for you. When you start to look at who and who's not showing up for you, I'm not saying people who are lurking, asking what's going on. No, people who are really invested in you. If those people are not really invested in you, you need to reevaluate why are they there. Okay, that's going to help you to begin to navigate how to set boundaries so you're able to show up better for those who really need your help when the time is needed. And you're not just showing up just because. Okay, you got to do something for this person, that person. Because I guarantee you, if you were, God forbid, if you were gone tomorrow, they would find somebody else. I'm going to say it again. God forbid, if you were gone tomorrow, chances are they will have another resource on the line. Okay? Don't feel bad. Do not feel bad. Don't feel pressured. It is not your responsibility to take care of people who are not taking care of you. Okay? It is not. It depends on, again, the situation. Like my mother is a schizophrenic, okay? She lives in a home. And so I am responsible to do certain things for my mom, but we also have someone we pay to do other things that I can't. Okay? Again, delegate tasks, okay, that you cannot do. You cannot do everything. All right? So again, learn to set boundaries going into 2025. Learn how to say no with grace. You don't got to say it with an attitude. Okay. But again, I will tell people in a minute no. So people stop asking me. And that is so good. Guess what? Peaceful. My life is peaceful because I said no. I'm not missing a thing. I'm doing what God told me to do. I'm freeing up my time. So I hope this helps somebody to free up your own time. Okay, because again, we are not called to do everything, but we are called to do hard things. Okay, but it's not, again, just because you can do it doesn't mean that you should. Only do the things that are in your capacity, all right, and it's going to bring you peace at the end of the day. Listen, this was amazing. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to share these nuggets with you guys. Again, pay attention to who you're serving, listen to your body, know your cap, y'all, know your capacity, and always be reliable and never a doormat. Especially going into 2025, we are in unknown times, but I serve a God who never fails. My life is in the hands of the Lord and not the president. Okay, so I want you guys to have an amazing holiday ahead. So much is happening in the upcoming year. So stay tuned for more, and I'll talk to you all in my next video. God bless.